Hello, in this tutorial I'd just like to give you a quick overview, well actually this will be a fairly in-depth overview of the new phonics system that we are very pleased to have just released. There's quite a lot to it, so this will be a reasonably deep video going into all the different ways that you can use it. So essentially it breaks down into two parts. There is the manual creation of phonics questions, and then there is a thing we call the Phonics Generator, which generates questions from pre-existing content based on filters, which is a faster way of doing it but less flexible. All the questions can be played in formative and in summative mode, so you can use it for both those ways of doing things. They can also be used in the quickfire whole class game and in the mobile app. Although the mobile app's just pending release, but that'll be a couple of days. So it's pretty flexible. I'm going to show you how we do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to go into content and games, and I'm going to create myself a new question collection. You'll notice I've been doing quite a lot of testing doing this. So I'm going to create a new question and thing, and I'm going to call it Phonics for video. Okay. Right, and I'm going to just click on continue, and that just creates me a new question collection. So I've got an empty question collection with nothing in it right now. If I click on create question here, you'll notice we've got quite a few options in here now. We've got all the normal question types that you've been used to using, but we've also got these phonics ones down here as well. There are 7 new question types, so this is quite cool stuff. So let's just go through those, and then we'll look at creating some. So we've got the listen to the word and then spell it. So this will play the word audio, and then they have to type it in. That's just letters, so it's just typing in letters. Then you've got the click the letters, or in fact they're graphemes, to spell the word. We say letters just because it's a little bit clearer to the child. But basically they've got to click the graphemes, and then we've got when the word disappears, spell it, which is again a simple spelling one with typing in letters, and they just, when the word displays for a few seconds and then disappears, and they've got to remember it and spell it. We've got drag the graphemes, the letters graphemes, onto the bar to make the word. So again, that is actual graphemes rather than letters in that instance. We've got click the letters to spell the word, so that is clicking actual letters rather than graphemes in that instance. We've got click the letters or graphemes for each sound that you hear to spell the word. So we'll hear a word, and then you would see the graphemes displayed on the screen, and it'll say each grapheme, and you've got to work out which grapheme matches the sound. And then we've got select the phoneme at the end there. So I'm sure you're all familiar, but basically if you're not, phonics is made up of graphemes that represent phonemes. Oh, that's odd. What's going on there? How very strange. Not sure why I did that. Graphemes that represent phonemes, and those phonemes have particular sounds, but there may be numerous graphemes for each phoneme. So that's just in case you weren't aware of that, and then you build the words up from those. So let's start with a really simple one. Let's do listen to the word and spell it. So we'll click on there, and we'll choose an audio file. I'd like to get this so that you can record your audio directly in, and so we'll probably do that at some point. I tried it, it was getting a bit tricky. And I can just type in house there. So I've just selected an audio file with the word house, and I'm going to click on save, and that has done it. So it's now created that. I'm just going to turn my volume up so that hopefully maybe you can hear my computer microphone speaker bit. Okay, let's preview that.
Listen to the word, then spell it. House.
Okay, so there's nothing actually displayed on the screen until they start typing. And we've built in quite detailed feedback into this system, so that the feedback hopefully is helpful. So on first error you get
G.
It tells you the letter that you typed. I typed a G there, and the blip blop tells you it's wrong.
G. Have another go.
Then you've just got to prompt to have another go.
G. Look at the letters you've entered so far. What's the next one?
So we try.
Here's the word again. House.
We try and lead them through the process, and then at the end it will blip it to tell them they've got it correct. This, by the way, these previews are in formative mode. If it was in summative mode, it wouldn't have any of that feedback. Okay, so that's cool. So that's a nice simple one. These actual spelling ones are nice and simple. Let's do a click the graphemes to spell the word, which is actually purely a phonic one, because the other one, that was just a spelling one. But let's look at one of the phonics ones. So here we've got this. We've got this system for building words in Oodlü this time, and basically here I'm going to do the same. I'm going to use the word house again. I'm just going to use it because it's the only word I've got recorded here. And you'll see here we've got the phonemes, and this is quite an advanced system. You've got just as it is, it's listing the phonemes, and if you roll over them, it tells you about them. So, for example, it will tell you whether it's long, consonant, whether it's part of the British Council. It gives you the IPA symbol, gives you the Samba symbol, and it gives you an example word, and it does that for all of those phonemes. And then, if you wish to, you can actually filter. You can click on that, and you can filter the list so that you, for example, only include vowels or consonant, or only short ones, or only long ones, etc., etc. So you can actually filter those down. Although I'm not going to do that. We need a hide button on this really, but yeah, never mind. Actually, I'm just going to open this again because it's a bit confusing with the advanced there. So let's just open that again and do it again. I just don't want you to be having too much on screen. I need a hide button there. Okay, so you basically you click on the phoneme you want to start. Now I'm going to start with an H, an H. I use the letter there, a H sound because it's the beginning of house. So I'm going to click on the H there, and you hear as I do that, it gives me the sound. If I, yeah, so you're getting the sound of that phoneme as you do it, so you can be sure. And then we've got the different graphemes for that phoneme. So if I go into one of these, for example, you've got the different graphemes for ow. Let's find another one that's there you go. Ch. So the different graphemes for that. Now I need a h for house, so I'm going to do h. And oh, by the way, notice it says here you can also use the advanced features in bulk creation section. So I'll show you that in a minute. So I've done a h, and now I need an ow sound for house. H, ows is the breakdown for that. So ow, and you'll see there are different ows. And if I click the wrong one, I've done the wrong one there. I can click on undo. But I'm going to use this one. And then I need a s sound, and again I can choose any of the s sounds, but of course I've got to get the right one. And now I've built up the word house, and if I want to I can click on those to verify it. And once I've done that, that's it. I've created my word. I click on save. You get quite quick at that after a bit, and then I've a preview.
Click the phonemes to spell the word house.
Okay, so it said click the phonemes to spell the word house, and you'll notice that in here we are using the list of letters here. It includes the h, the ow, and the s, of course, but we also use a list of common errors. So this is a list of common correspondence errors. So for example, the s sound could be made with a curly k here. It could be made with the s as in se, or the s as in sc, and the w could be a h sound as well. So yeah, so basically we're picking distractors for this which are commonly which have common mistakes. So I'm going to build the word now, and again you can click the phonemes as they get built as well.
House.
Okay, so that's that type of question, and basically those question types are as I described them, and you build them all in the same way. The only one that's different is select the phoneme. So let's click on select the phoneme, where select the phoneme is literally just they have to select a phoneme. So let's do let's find a nice one. Okay, let's do the double M sound, the m. Okay, and I'm going to click on save. Simple as that. You just pick the phoneme and the grapheme for it and click on save. And if I preview that,
select the phoneme.
Okay, and then they select the phoneme. In that instance, we don't pick common correspondence errors because, of course, you might pick the wrong one, obviously, because they might have the same phoneme sound. Okay, so that's how you create them manually, and as I say, these questions can be played in the games within the website as formative and summative. They can be played in the quickfire whole class game. If they are, of course, they're played in summative mode, and if they can also be played in the mobile app when that releases. But that's just part of it, because the next bit I think is probably possibly one of the more exciting parts, because this allows you to create your questions fast. If you go to the bulk create questions section and go into question type, you'll notice that we've got 6 of those 7 phonics question types in there. We don't have the select the phoneme, because actually that is just selection of a phoneme, but we can use the system here that we have here, the Phonics Generator, to generate these types of questions: to listen to the word and spell it, click letters, blah 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 blah, as you can see on the screen there. Let's do drag the letters or graphemes to make the word, and it takes a few seconds to load. Once it's loaded, you have this Phonics generator system, and the idea is that you can pick any particular phonics scheme that you might want that we support currently. You can pick any combination of consonant and vowel structures that you wish to do. You can pick any number of syllables that you wish to have, and then you can pick your initial, medial and final values in there as well. So let's say, for example, I want to find CVC words, and let's say I want to find CVC words beginning with B. Well, those ones actually are, with an A sound in the middle, the A in the middle. And there's our filtered list, simple as that. And if I wish to, I can filter that further. If I want to, I can reduce that list by typing into there. And then once I've filtered down the list based on whatever it is that I want to find, I just select them. And you'll see that they start to appear on the right hand side. And once I've selected them, I go save. And that's it. They've been pumped into the question collection here. Badge, bang, bash. And those, and you'll see that their question type is listed there as well. You'll notice that you can't edit these. We may actually add that feature down the line, but it was just a little bit tricky in the timescales, so we haven't. But you can't edit the ones that have been created. Honestly, I can't see why you would. They're fine. So let's preview one of these ones. This is drag the letters or graphemes onto the bar to make the word.
Drag the graphemes onto the word bar to make the word badge.
Okay, so this is actually quite tricky, because in fact I'm not entirely sure myself. I better, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how the makeup of this one is myself. So let's try it.
Badge.
But you see here, these are the common correspondence errors. So that's, I'm going to go with that. Yeah. Okay. But you can see that correspondence error was quite tricky. They have to know exactly which one. Okay, so that is pretty much how you use the generator. There's not much more to it than that, really. Suffice to say that you can use these questions in those different places. So hopefully that gives you a pretty good overview of the way these phonics questions work. We look forward very much to hearing how you get on, and thank you very much.